Hi, everybody. Harry here to talk about a nasty policy that's just been enjoined by which the IRS has been sharing all kinds of identifying information for tens of thousands of people with, you guessed it, the Department of Homeland Security, that everybody understands is being used, at least potentially, to ferret out people whom they could add to their list of deportees because they're not here legally. Now, people who are not here legally have always actually been encouraged to pay their taxes. Not only are they supposed to, but IRS has always said you should pay your taxes and we don't turn over your information to anyone. They've said this repeatedly. And now they just switched it on a dime. Indeed, the case is brought by a group that represents taxpayers, including a lot of people of troubled immigration status, and their clientele has just plummeted because everyone's scared now that if you pay your taxes, they're gonna be coming after you based on immigration status. Now, the thing about this is they just did it arbitrarily. They had this long-standing policy. We do not we keep your information in strictly confidential, and they just, Stephen Miller or whoever it is rules in the administration, and just all of a sudden all this information went over. That's been stopped on a dime. No more information is to go over. And the district court ruled the information that you do have, you may not use for civil immigration enforcement. You can use it to prosecute crimes, and that's been a general exception of the IRS confidentiality policy. If the IRS turns up strong evidence of a crime they have in the past, typically referred it to the Department of Justice to pursue the crime, including the tax crime. That's one thing. But otherwise, they've kept it strictly confidential. And in terms of the law, what the judge said is you violated. I agree with the plaintiffs. There's the Administrative Procedure Act, and it says you can't just make changes on a dime in an arbitrary and capricious way. And that's exactly what they did. They made this change, failing even to acknowledge, much less explain the departure from the prior policy of strict confidentiality. What else didn't they do? They failed to consider the reliance interest that had been engendered by the prior policy of strict confidentiality. What else did they do? They failed to provide a reasoned explanation for implementing the new address sharing policy. Basically, this is just, the Trump Project 2025 hit the ground running change par excellence. It's just, did we say that we don't share taxpayer information? Oh, well, give it up and give it up now. We saw some of this happening in the early days of Doge, when Doge, 22-year-olds were coming in and ransacking files and the like. So a complete lawless change and abrupt change of policy. And who knows what they were thinking, but it certainly wasn't complying with the law that makes it really clear that agencies can't just go and just reverse things overnight. They maybe can, it maybe could be lawful, but not if it's arbitrary and capricious and unexplained. Also, the color code tally makes clear or finds that the unlawful conduct has created a substantial likelihood that they're going to suffer irreparable harm. The Center for Taxpayer Rights is the plaintiff here. They've experienced a significant decline in interest and engagement. And then the people that they serve, it's the same issue. So it's a very kind of blunt. It's from early on in the administration, just Stephen Miller, someone has a bright idea. I know. Let's get all the taxpayer information and nobody tries to stop the train even to pretend or paper over some kind of thoughtful change or even acknowledgement that they've completely done a reverse flip here. And already, as I mentioned, there's, they went ahead and tens of thousands of taxpayer information has been used. The order is not to do anything with civil immigration enforcement. Maybe the cases will come up where they'll say, the administration, we didn't get it from the IRS, we got it otherwise. It's a mess that you can't completely unscramble the eggs. But at least going forward, and now subject to appeal, it'll certainly go up to the DC Circuit. This complete about face with no reasoning, it's like the epitome of arbitrary, undemocratic government action, right? Oh well, it's the line from Animal House. You screwed up. You trusted us. So for now, the policy is enjoined, and the order is don't use anything you have for civil immigration enforcement. And that's the state of play, subject, I'm sure, to an appeal to the DC Circuit. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.